So should you copyright all of your artwork? That is a big question we're going to tackle today. So in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on this topic, being a full-time artist that has to rely on selling unique artwork to survive. And this is more and more of an issue now that artificial intelligence has become easily accessible and creating artwork that is indistinguishable from artwork being created by a human hand. And social media has made it easy for people across the world to take your ideas. So just to be clear, this is not a video explaining everything about copyright laws. I just want to sort of make sure that we're working off of the same foundation, and that is when you're creating artwork, once you created that piece of art, you took that concept, that idea from your head to a tangible form, you automatically have the copyrights. Registering a copyright only formalizes the copyrights that you have. It's basically like a birth certificate for your artwork. Registering your artwork with the Copyright Office only allows you to better defend your stance as being the author of the artwork, but you can still defend your stance as being the author of the artwork without doing the copyright registration process. You just need proof that you have created that piece of artwork. To give you a little bit of background, in my practice, I don't regularly register my work with the Copyright Office. I do traditional artwork, I do murals, I do sculpture work, a lot of street art, and other sort of artistic things. When I have registered my work, I have done it because it was a commission through the city doing public art. For example, this upcoming sculpture piece that I'm doing for the Denver International Airport, I'm going to register with the Copyright Office. So if there's a movie being filmed in the airport and it has my sculpture piece prominently in one of the scenes, they would have to talk to me. And it's a personal decision that I have to weigh on every piece of artwork that I do. And here's some of the questions that I ask myself that you should ask yourself as well. Are you publishing the artwork on social media and different platforms? Are you making derivatives of that work? Is the artwork super unique? Is this a really popular piece that you're using to survive on financially because you're selling it and leasing it out, or you're putting it on different patterns for furniture, curtains, things like that? How visible is the piece of artwork and how easily accessible is it to individuals out there in the world? Case in point, my sculpture at DIA is going to be really visible to a lot of people, millions of people walking by it every day. Not every artwork in your studio will demand that same attention. Also, in my observation, each art form has their unique characteristics and how they relate to the value of registering through the Copyright Office. For example, photographers can easily have their image being used in advertising campaigns they never approved of. Or a musician can have their music copied and used in a YouTube video that is selling merchandise that they never approved of. So those forms of artistic expression that are easily accessible and repurposed easily by those that don't have the copyrights. So it makes sense that musicians and photographers who author and create these artistic pieces copywriting all of their work. And the Copyright Office makes it easier for those sort of mediums to do that. I, on the other hand, do not do that for every work because majority of my work does not garner the same time, money, and administrative resources that it takes to formalize through the copyright registration process. And that only takes a lot of time, money, and resources and administrative sort of brain power to go through that copyright process, but it also takes a lot of time, money, and resources when it comes to protecting your copyrights, because if it was infringed upon, you have to spend money and resources to send cease and desist letters or even sue the infringer of your copyrights. And that's a lot of work. So you have to think about, is it even worth it? And even if you do have your work registered with the government, many times artists like you and I will have their work stolen by scammers online, and they can hide behind, an anonymous identity, sending you through sort of a wild goose chase trying to figure out who they are while they sit comfortably in a whole nother country, not worrying about the repercussions of infringing on your copyrights. Not only small scammers can steal your work, but big organizations and companies can be a part of individuals taking your work. Shein is one of the fastest growing online clothing retailers, but it's notorious for having fashion designs on their websites that were created by artists that have absolutely nothing to do with that company. they usually escape culpability by saying they work with third parties that are the ones that are stealing the designs. This ultimately leaves the author of that design, that fashion pattern, whatever, basically empty-handed because they don't know who to go to get recourse. And good luck trying to battle a conglomerate, a big company like that, especially when they're international and especially when they're in China. So my focus is not to be an administrator. My focus is to be an artist. So when I come across artwork of mine that has been infringed upon, I usually go about it personally through contacting them through social media or using a PR campaign. You know, get the Detour fans to flood that comment section, because public pressure online can sometimes and many times be a lot more effective than going through it legally. So the artworks that I create that are most at risk, I'll think about going through that copyright process. But majority, I will not do that. Those that I do register are ones that I'm willing to use time, money, and resources to protect, like the upcoming piece that I'm doing for the airport. But if you're yearning to go through that copyright process and to do one just to learn how to do that in the future, you can easily go to the website copyright.gov to see the different ways you can register a copyright based on the type of artwork that you're doing, and you know, whether you're trying to register it as one individual, just you as an author, or do you have partners? Are there multiple people? Are you trying to register just one piece, or you're trying to register multiple pieces? They basically have an assortment of ways that you can register your artwork. So for majority of artists that just want to register one piece and they did it alone, they're going to be paying about $45. Just go through that process. And for other artists who may want to do multiple pieces, or they do it through a sort of collective, or they have a partner that's co-authoring the artwork, they can pay $65 to register the standard application. And photographers, they have another application process where you can submit up to 750 photos at one time, because photographers can take a lot of photos. So in the end, copyright is not a necessary requirement for you to feel like you have protection over your work, because once you create the work, you automatically have the copyright. Registering your work through the copyright process only gives you sort of like a formal certificate that you are the author of that work. So hopefully this helped out when it comes to just understanding how a full-time artist like myself goes about copyrights and their artwork, being that I'm a full-time artist that has to rely on creating artwork and selling that unique artwork and making it feel like, you know, these individuals have to come to me to get my unique perspective. And how do I sort of protect my unique perspective? So hopefully this helped out. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you're notified whenever I do videos like this, and I will see you next time. Peace.